Hi, welcome back. Helen Racz here. Video number 4. So I have learned as I'm teaching that progress, moving tangibly forward into success, is a lot quicker, a lot easier if you address all 5 bodies of the human experience. I've found that many people will address 1 or 2 heavily and their progress is just slower. So let's talk about the 5 bodies. As a human, we have a physical body, of course. We have an emotional body, spiritual body, energetic body, and mental body. And so I like to address all 5 areas. If you've listened to any of my tapping, you'll know I often tap these 5 areas too. So how does this apply to the second part of the process? We want to clear in all those areas, but we also want to add in these areas. So let's talk about it for a minute. The physical body. Now this is the actual physical body that we have. It's a lot denser, but we also engage it to make progress in our manifestation. The physical body is what we use for right action. And in our analogy earlier about being the boss or thinking of ourselves as our greatest work, our physical body is also about the environment, supporting ourselves physically. So right action, environment. So depending on what you're manifesting, you're going to want to look at all 5 bodies. And if you go with me a little deeper into this series, you're also going to want to look at all 5 areas just to create rapid personal growth. So why do we want to grow personally? Well, so that we feel better, so that we are the boss of us, so that we don't feel like life is happening to us, but rather that we are living life consciously and purposefully and enjoying it. You know, the human experience is always going to have a great deal of loss and pain just by the way things are set up. And so I think it's really important to also go after consciously and with purpose, go after feeling as good as you can feel by contributing, by being present, by enjoying your life experience. And that's a lot easier and a lot faster if you pay attention to all 5 bodies. So the emotional body, we actually access this one a lot through tapping. And sometimes it's really interesting that your emotional body can be in great conflict with your mental body. Have you ever felt sad, yet you don't really have a reason to feel sad? Or have you ever had anger triggered and you're thinking, why would I be upset about that? You know, tapping, when we do, especially when we do borrowing benefits, we'll pull up a memory from long ago, somebody that we won't see again, something that is long since over, and yet when we think of it, we can feel bad today. Does it make any sense intellectually? Does it make any sense physically? We're not in the experience. We're not there. It's not happening. It's not even something that affects our present day life. And yet, the discomfort can be seriously stored in the emotional body. And then, of course, we do have our spiritual body. For you to even be interested in this series or working with any of my teachings or who I am as a person, you must in some way relate that there is more than just this earth experience. So spirituality can mean different things to different people. But I very clearly remember the hardest part of my life was not knowing my spiritual connection. So the spirituality is about believing that we are all connected and that we are here to contribute and that all personal healing we do actually does affect the world. And then on the flip side of that, that whatever we contribute negatively through thought, through unforgiveness, that's also affecting all of us. So I love this journey of creating success, of being the boss of you, because it means that as we heal ourselves, we're contributing to all of humanity. I really believe to be the change that you want to see in the world is contributing to that change happening for the world. So the spirituality, however you want to define it, it's also a separate body. You can go into deep meditation, quiet the mind, quiet the emotions. You forget your body's even there. So the spiritual body, I always count in as one of the 5. Now the energetic body, this is the one that seems to get left out somewhat commonly. For me, it's a very important body. I work with energy all the time. Energy work through my hands, through my voice, through my eyes. I can sense energy moving in a room. Some people can actually perceive the auric field and see the colors, the energetic colors, healing colors. So the energy body, how do we support that? Higher vibration resonates with health. Lower vibration, we talked about this earlier, depression, grief, very low vibration. Well, today with our amazing technology, they actually know that the vibration of a healthy organ is higher than the vibration of a diseased organ. It's really fascinating, all the tools we have today. So when I'm speaking of the energetic body, how does your energy field feel? So let's think of it this way. Have you ever felt somebody staring at you? You just feel it and you turn around and look. Well, you can't actually feel eyesight, but that is somebody's interest, intent, focus on you actually affects your field. Or what about when maybe you think of somebody and then the phone rings and you pick it up and it's who you've been thinking of over the past day or so? Are we connecting energetically? Many psychics, intuitives, are they reading our energetic field? We don't really know how it all works. But I do know if you bring focus and consciousness to the energetic body while you're working on whatever it is you want to manifest, the success that you desire for your life, you're going to get there a lot quicker. All right, and what else do we have? The mental body. Now this one's fascinating, isn't it? How often are we even present in our physical body, or we get lost in our thoughts? Have you ever felt consumed by a thought? Aren't the ones that loop over and over frustrating? And you even tell yourself, I don't want to think about this anymore, and yet you can't stop. So the mental body, we want to honor it and partner with it and learn how to be the boss of the mental body. That's the biggest thing of all. So the mental body, remember, is going to have the human ego. And the ego is designed specifically to measure and compare. And so there are ways that you can actually work with manifesting. Now remember earlier we talked about the hows and the whens are not our business. That's just out of our control. And yet the human mind likes those things because they measure the how and the when. So when you're working on the PDF, when you're working your way through the ebook, Seriously Joyous Intention Setting, yes, you have a goal. You're going to do it for 30 days. You're counting time. You actually are thinking when and how you're going to do the project. And yet, you don't get attached to that part. So you want to work with the mind, not against it. What you resist will absolutely persist. So there's ways to learn to manifest and ease the mind, have it involved, and yet not get attached to the measurement of the how or the when. Okay? So those are the 5 bodies that you'll hear me mention often in tapping and in creating. So anything that you're desiring in your life, any success, the next level that you want to go to personally, see if you can't see if you're supporting that concept with all 5 bodies. Let me give you a couple more examples in case it helps. So let's think of, well, I'll use the example I have in the ebook. I was creating, well, no, let me use this example. So here I'm creating a video series and I'm going to offer online coaching, and my intention is to be supportive to many people I may not even meet. My journey's been filled with authors, books, videos that have really taught me so much, and I want to pay that forward. I love sharing information, love supporting people, so I want to make it available to anybody who's ready for it. All right, so how would I really invest myself with this intention to go forward with video online? Well, physically, what's the right action? Make sure I'm getting enough rest so that the creativity and the inspiration can flow through. Physically, I'm going to create a space. I hope you like my pretty wallpaper behind me. I'm going to create a space, set it up with the camera person, have an idea, format, and a picture that's overall. Got to make sure that I'm physically comfortable, rested, well fed, hydrated before I'm actually being filmed, and play from that level. So physically, I'm going to support it. How do I start my morning, or every morning since I've been working on this project? By physically relaxing into a meditative state. Okay? So physically, I'm supporting my intent to be of service to many people. Emotional. Gonna look. You'll find in the PDF. You're gonna look. What could be in the way? What could be limiting me? Why haven't I done this sooner? What blocks are there? Emotionally, how do I feel about taking this risk? And again, I shared with you in the newsletter that got you into this free video series, the YouTube on fear of rejection and criticism. And yes, it's frightening. What if nobody follows the videos? What if everybody watches the first one but not the others? Those are fears. Those are emotional states that I want to address and deal with so that I can show up fully focused on my intent to be of service. Okay, so the emotional body. Now, interestingly enough, all these work together. So if I make sure that I'm also rested and that I've had food and water, my emotional state is better. Maybe I'll need to make sure that if I have nervous anxiety, I actually physically get some of that out or meditate it down. All right? Spiritual. Well, of course, for me, it's about prayer. Asking that I be an instrument, a catalyst for positive change, that I serve with all my heart in a way that I'm an instrument for knowledge and information to come through me without attachment to the ego, letting go of the how and the when and how it'll work out and what it'll give me back, but staying very centered spiritually about the contribution I can make. The giving and receiving, for me, it is very fulfilling to be of service to others. And so that there is a giving and receiving. I will create video that I do charge for. That's a giving and receiving, which is a spiritual law. And for me, for many people who are called to service, the receiving's the hard end. It's taken a lot of work on the tapping, on the emotional, on the mental, to be okay with monetizing a message or a service. And yet, without monetizing it, you can't actually grow. You can't expand to the people that you can reach through our great technology today. I can't get the support I need to keep expanding physically, emotionally, and energetically. And so it all kind of ties in together. Okay? Energetic. Well, I'll tell you right now. I've got incense burning, I have candles on. I'm a big fan of Vibes Up. I have jewelry supporting my body. I made sure, again, that as I take care of my physical, emotional, and spiritual body, my energetic body is also good. My space is good. Do clearing on that. Hold high intent. Make sure that I'm pulling energy through my body with intent, I have total clarity on what I want to deliver. And so that supports me energetically. Have you ever been somewhere, you walk in and you immediately feel ill at ease? Well, that's your energetic body perceiving something. And then there are other times you'll go to somebody's home or to maybe a sanctuary of some kind and you immediately feel at peace. That's the energy field perceiving information. So I support my energetic body too because I'm working with energy all the time. Okay? Mental body, we talked about that quite a bit. So how do I get my mental body ready for today? Well, that's the organization. That's the, hey, got to have a big idea. What could happen? What follows what? How do you make it accessible and understandable? So as I pull all 5 bodies in to my project, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. It connects us to clarity, to gratitude, that I get to do this, that I get to be of service, that I get to step out of my comfort zone and try something new, that I get to utilize the amazing technology of today to do what I love to do. It's really a fun place to be. And I couldn't get there unless I actually pulled all the bodies together with one intent. So I hope that's given you some ideas to think about, and I hope that will support you on your journey. This is video 4. I'll see you in number 5.